Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Inside Fitness Radio presents Total Fitness Podcast. My name is Matthew,
I'm Walter.
and today we have a very special guest on the show, the man himself, Terry Frendo. How are you doing, Terry?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Finally, I made it on here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Only took what, 15, 16 episodes or so?
Yeah, I let you guys warm up a little bit. I figured you warm up a little bit before you could handle me, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That's it. We appreciate it. Definitely.
That's the excuse. That's the excuse that I have. But no, I've been obviously pretty busy working on some stuff, and one of my main, goals when I started talking to you guys was getting this new website up and getting you a proper home, because I felt before it was there, but this is something that we can update right away. You guys are making like videos like crazy. Like I'm so impressed with the speed. I do watch the videos. I'm trying to get obviously a lot more people to engage with the videos. It does take time, but I mean, you guys are doing a great job with it. I'm so proud to have you guys and representing Inside Fitness and doing what you guys do, because it's hard to find people that you trust.
Yeah.
And it really is, especially when it comes to talking about things. I mean, all these topics that you guys go over are not topics that I just want anyone talking about. And putting our brand behind it and supporting you guys, and I really do appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to do this year.
Absolutely. No, we appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Makes us feel good inside.
And I won't touch your ribs. I won't do anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We were talking earlier that Matt's got, how many broken ribs do you have now, or is it just like
this is just a bruised rib now? But this is like the fourth rib injury in the past 9 months from switching from bodybuilding to boxing. It was a great decision with all these injuries I'm getting. To be fair though, I mean,
you gotta say that with a happier voice.
To
be
be
fair, a
fair,
great decision.
I had my fair share of injuries with bodybuilding, so it's just part of the sport.
Well, you look good.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm feeling good, minus the rib. But we're joking a little bit about having you on and warming us up. But one of the big reasons you were obviously a little preoccupied was actually the launch today of the new website, and making sure that Inside Fitness, the new website basically has a good new home. I personally will say, going from what you used to have with the website with the black kind of backgrounds, still really a good, it was a nice looking website, but I gotta say what you did with the new one is miles better.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. I got some, I was happy to get some, text messages from people too, just, complimenting on the actual look and feel. And it took a lot of time, research, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I didn't, you can always, the one beautiful thing about digital versus print is you can always make changes as you go.
Yeah.
Print, it's like, this is the last day, the last time, that's it. So I've been doing that for 24 years. It's in, like, I know what a deadline is, and I know what a drop dead is. It's like, that's it. We're digital, man. Like, I've probably pushed this deadline a little bit further back, but I just kept adding pages and adding, some better content. And like I said, even your page today, I whipped up a better page that I think that will, resemble the brand and what you guys are doing a lot better. And I want to make it much more interactive. I want people to go there, and if they have questions, they can email people. They can, click on links.
Yeah,
that's the key point, because we are creating conversation. The podcast is one part of it, but how can we interact with people in other parts of the platform?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I'm going to encourage people. And that's why I really wanted to launch something that was, I think, really good. I mean, we have all these promotions too. We've got like the Hot and Fit 100, which that's a very complicated promotion. It's not something that you just do. Some of these other magazines have just whipped these things out, and that's not something, it's our 14th year. We take a lot of responsibility. We wanted to keep this a free promotion. We did add some elements into where there's going to be some paid stuff for people who want to add, some more photos. It's all within, being fair. I wanted something that we're going to give to people that, because we do have people who ask, we want this or we want that. I'm like, okay, we're not really set up for this with our old system. Our new system, what do you guys want? We can work with you. And even releasing a magazine, like a digital magazine, I just released it at 620, and all the sales are coming in. And you know what? With the way it's working on newsstands, like, people have been stuck at home. you know, you're kind of used to being at home. You may not go by, but you want to get that magazine. You know, you want to see if you're in it. You want to see if someone's in it. Whatever it is, boom! Within, you know, a minute, you have it on your phone.
Yeah.
So that part, and that's another part of like the Fit Club part that it's really fast. I'll get you guys signed up on free memberships. And if someone's watching this and DMs me, the first person that DMs me who watches this, I'll give them, it's worth $144. It's $12 a month. And it gives you access to everything on the website, every magazine from number 1 to 97, plus a bunch of other ones. And yeah, I mean, it's super fast. You could do search, so you could go type in your name. If you're in a magazine, Walter, maybe in issue 35, right? You could go find it now. And if you were in the magazine and you maybe lost the print version, now like you could never found it. Just didn't exist, because you'd have to come to my house or my office and get this magazine, because it's gone. And I don't even actually have all the magazines. Most of the magazines are in a warehouse in Woodstock. So yeah, now it's digital, and I actually use it a lot more. So if someone asks me a question about the magazine, I just pull it up, boom, boom, boom. And, you know, if you want to search training tips, you know, I want back, you know, exercises, you could just do a search, anything, creatine, protein. So yeah, I'm very, very happy about that. And as we're building out these future magazines, we'll probably incorporate maybe the podcast into it too, where digital ads, people click on it, talk about supplements, talk about training, you know, the training stuff that we had talked about before. I mean, there's so much I want to add, and working with, you know, guys like yourselves who are experts, not just knowledgeable, but also very friendly. And that's the thing too, you know, Inside Fitness, we certainly work with top level athletes, models, but we're also a gateway. We're also welcome to anyone. Fitness is not, this is a topic, guys. I don't know. I've been getting this back and forth. What's fitness? What is defined as, you know, is Matt ripped up with the 6-pack? Is that fitness? I think it's fitness for him, and it's what works. You could be lean, you can have, you know, a certain look to you, and be working towards a goal and be fit too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you guys, what do you guys think about that?
Well, for one, I mean, I just want to take a second to say, like, what you're already doing with the with Inside Fitness. I mean, one of the reasons we were so attracted for it, and I mean, I think I've known you for, what is it, 6-7 years now, something like that. Was the community that you have built with Inside Fitness, and like how much openness that people that are part of the magazine or have been in the magazine. I mean, Walter and I have both known some of your cover models, and you know, we walk up to them in the gym, and one of them, and I'll say his name, Aaron Legend, you know, he was one of the guys that would spend like 30-45 minutes posing with us day after day, just because he was a nice guy. And I think that is what you strive for within the community. But in terms of what fitness actually is, I mean, Walter and I both have our own ideas, but I think it is pretty similar to what the podcast theme stands for, right?
Honestly, I think that it is an evolving thing. There's the fitness of your 20s, which is a little more aesthetic and a little more, how do I look, and am I getting laid? And then there's the, can I move? Can I reach? Can I lift this up when I'm in my 70s? And what can I then do? So I think, to me, the beautiful thing about you and the magazine is that I have never felt like I was locked out because I wasn't a 25-year-old bodybuilder. Yeah. And I think that there's so much room. There's whole generations. I mean, in terms of competition, why are there older qualifications that could be used rather than just stops at 50, boom? Not that well, if I'm going to compete, I want to be able to compete against my peers. I need peers my age. So, but you know, I think fitness can't be defined on any one strata, other than being able to move, being able to enjoy being alive.
Well, it's the
mental fitness too. I mean, so we're not like, we do use aesthetics because we have to use pictures, but the words, and it's a lot of the pictures that I do want to use. And I did a motivational magazine. I'm all about it. I love the inspiration. I use it I'm the reader. You know what I mean? Like more than when it comes to the experts, I find them, I hire them, or I put them to work on writing stuff. You know, I write my pub page and I obviously help, you know, in editing and all that. But when it actually comes to the content, I do believe, and that was my mission from day one, because I was 250 pounds when I started this thing. I was not healthy, and which was weird because 8 years prior to that, you know, I worked in a bodybuilding magazine and 4 or 5 magazines. So the lifestyle was the thing, and I wanted to do something that was going to appeal to not just the elite and the top fitness people, but that was going to utilize the top fitness people to welcome people, Canadians and others, but newbies. I mean, I don't care where you're at. If you're right now watching this and you're 100 pounds overweight, you know what you have to do. You get your motion and, you know, get everything going in motion. We're here to help. You know, the community's there. People, you can ask people questions. That's one thing. And you talk about Aaron Legend, and there's a good story. You know, Aaron. I met Aaron in Ottawa a decade ago, long time ago, and I saw him, and I was just there, just doing my thing. The publisher guy going in quick to kind of like check out the show, take some photos, say hi to some people, and I saw this young guy with this really outgoing, you know, attitude. I go, wow, this guy's pretty out there. I'm like, I gotta talk to him, say hi to him. And after maybe 20 minutes of talking to him, I'm like, man, you need to move. You need to get out of Ottawa and go to Toronto, because this is if you want to be this guy that you want to be, you're not going to do it in this environment. Nothing against Ottawa. It's just, I felt the fitness and where he wanted to go, he wanted to be in the nightlife at that time and work. And so I never met him, but I just said, listen, straight out, I think you're a good guy. You seem like you're going to hustle. This is my 2 cents, because I'll help you, you know, get into this fitness world in the magazine, because you're a good looking guy. I like anyone, you know, to me, fitness or any of these fitness people, it's not about necessarily what they look like, what color they are, what nationality, whatever it is. It's about their attitude, what they're willing to do. You know what I mean? If you're willing to work at it, I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to me. That's never been anything that's been an issue. And, you know, and people talk about, like, say, the hot and fit and all that. What you see in the pages is based on what we get. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're trying to open the doors so we can get more people. That would be great. So anytime people spread the word, you know what I mean, that helps. So anyways, yeah, and I want to do more stuff. I want to do stuff more with men specific. I want to, like I said, encourage men of different ages. You know what I mean? I do want to get younger guys in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I can get a 16-year-old male or female reading the magazine, getting them excited about, you know, getting into a shape or getting to this level. Yeah. It's all about inspiration. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing too. When you see the magazine, I pretty much get, you know, 99% of the time, good feedback. Yeah. There is that 1% of the time I've had people say stuff to me. Would you guys imagine? I mean, have you heard someone say this to you, even looking at you going, oh, you look good, but I can never do that. Or, you know, you know, they already discount themselves by looking at something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've had this happen to me. And I was actually pretty offended, because I was just like, wow, I don't put this magazine together to have these, you know, good looking people and attractive, fit people, not, you know, just for looks. It's actually to help motivate. You know, that's the key thing. And that's what I really want to do at the end of the day. When you go to the website, you read a magazine, you see anything that has to do with Inside Fitness or even my name, it's about inspiration and motivation. Mm-hmm. That's what
I think that's it too. I mean, anyone I've met from the magazine or anyone in the industry who is inspirational to me, it is the mindset that's inspirational. That mindset leads to the body that is the visual that we get from it. You can't really do one without the other. These people are all go-getters who believe in hard work, who believe in determination and showing up to make their own lives. Yeah. That's what it's really all about. That's fitness.
And, you know, the one thing I will say, you know, is providing us a platform for Canadians to, because they would never, I'll tell you guys, when I started 8 years at Muscle Mag, it was based in Mississauga, but it was American magazine. I didn't even know what was going on in Canada. I had no idea. Yeah. When I started this thing, I thought, wow, okay, there's an opportunity, but to actually put, you know, Joe Smith from Pentatang machine in a photo in a magazine who competed, and he did do, over 50, whatever it was. We did lots of this back in the early days, and they would go to Walmart and pick up a magazine and show their family.
Yeah.
That's the cool shit. Like that to me is like, or I had one time the cover guy, Corey, he had his grandfather there, and his old guy, war guy. And he showed the magazine, he showed his grandfather, this is the guy who did the magazine. And he's just like, this whole, like, he was so proud of him that he was on the cover of this magazine, just to watch. Anytime I give someone the magazine, if they're on the cover, I want to give it to them. I don't want to send them the text. I want to give them the actual physical copy and watch their face.
Yeah.
And see what their family says. That's a pretty cool thing, for anyone who's been into that. I think it's a cool thing to have. Why not? Like, you know what I mean? It's like being on TV, it doesn't happen every day.
Exactly. Well, that's what I think. You've created such a community with the hot and fit in that sense too, right? I mean, every single girl I know who is within fitness right now has or is planning on submitting to the hot and fit.
Yeah, I won't lie to you guys. When I started that promotion, it was kind of based on Maxim and let's have these beautiful women in the magazine, and guys will buy it.
Yeah.
What I found out real quick, because we were on Facebook in 2006, 2005, actually, was that the women bought it and they were selling it to everyone. They're like, wow, I'm in a magazine, and there was more women buying it. And that's, I right away, it was like, wow, okay, you know what? Forget the guys. Women is where we're going to go. So even though it kind of looked like, and it's still like, what I mean? I think just if we did a hot and fit guys, it would be the same type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the end of the day is pushing the message, and how many people who created a career out of that is amazing, and it's just, there's a lot of pride in that part of it, because what was a simple photo contest turned into 13 years so far, and with the 14th year coming up, of people getting published and getting at least some kind of recognition. You know what I mean? It's, I wish I could put more people in there. We get hundreds and hundreds of people, but it's just, that's what makes it, I think, an honor. It's just like, why is the World Cup played every 4 years?
Yeah.
It's the same. That's my mentality with it, right? Like, it's not for everyone. It's got to be for a certain, so you have to get to that level, and that's what's going to get you there. And if you watch some of the videos that we have, like I was actually just watching one earlier, Jackie was talking, I think she applied to be in the Hunt Fit, didn't even get in, and there's lots of these stories of women who tried, never even got in, but they didn't give up, and then they got in and they won, or they played in the top 5 or 10. It's super cool. And I love hearing that. Any of the feedback, that to me, you guys can message me. I love hearing when there's a story behind it, or if they post a video about it, that would be great. What's your Inside Fitness connection?
Yeah, no, and I mean, we've done interviews with both Natalie and Alexia, who were both hot and fit models, and it's Walter froze a bit, but
go out again.
Just reset your camera. But with Natalie and Alexia, I mean, you're talking to these women, and it's just, and that's exactly it. I mean, their stories are incredible, like what they have done to get to that point, or what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to put together. And I think that, again, it embodies what you are looking for with Inside Fitness, which is building that community for inspiration. Because you look at these women and you're like, wow, I want to look like her. And then you read the stories, or you hear the stories about what they're talking about. And you just are exactly like Walter said. Yeah, you were inspired by the mindset and the go-getter, the hard work, the hustle aspect of what they're putting together.
Yeah, I've got a photographer friend of mine, a guy who's worked with us for many years, and he's the kind of guy that I would call or text at like 2 a.m, going, hey man, you got a photo? And he would send it to me. Glenn Grant, and Glenn would always come to me with, before in the past, with obviously all the hottest fitness people, and then he's older now, and he's like, man, I'm not really into that part of it as much. I have these other stories. I got these other things. I found this guy, an athlete, a Paralympic athlete, and I was like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Why not? As long as they're Canadian. And I said, this is what I want to do. I want to open up more. We started off with this, and we were never hardcore. We were always fitness. That's why I call it Inside Fitness back in 2000. 6, muscle and bodybuilding was very big. You know, I went from that community to like fitness, but kind of merging it. And then that's why I worked with a lot of actual UFC fighters. We had couples on the cover, we had guys, we had girls, we had UFC fighters because it was really pop. George St. Pierre single-handedly doubled my sales. I had the opportunity to meet him and I said, "Hey, George." He looked at me like, I go, "I just want to thank you." And he's like, "Why?" You know, and I'm just like, "I have a magazine, you're on the cover." And he's like, yeah. I'm like, "You double my sales." Like, "Oh, that's cool." You know, it was really nice to actually, because that was just, and the guy never got paid for it. People ask me this all the time. And this guy was like, there was nobody more famous in GSP at that time in Canada, or probably the world almost. This guy was like so hot. He was at his gym, his own gym, and it's got to be like blocked off because like there's so many people around. So stuff like that's been really cool. And you know, every issue, there's a story behind it. I guess that's the cool thing. You know, I always tell people your life is a book. There's always going to be there's chapters, good chapters, bad chapters. Some chapters are just nothing. You know, I actually have books that I could say at this time, 2013, I was doing this at this time at this photo shoot. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I talk a lot, guys. So you definitely got to like, you know, I can certainly do, you know, this is why I stopped doing the podcast myself. Just being me. I just talk to a mirror.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. I mean, that's
all right.
No, you know what, when it comes to this, this is the one thing I will say, because I'm very passionate about this, because I live, eat, and breathe it. You know, I mean, this is what I do. It's not just a job to make money. Of course, I always say it, we do need to like, yeah, I gotta keep the bills go, you know, paid and all that. But I love connecting with people, and you know, it's just so much fun to build it. Like I said, that connection to Canada and being one of the only few magazines left.
Yeah.
Is you know, it's sad, you know, but like I said, we're doing everything that we can to try and keep it going. And I do encourage anyone who's watching to buy. When you buy a digital copy or a subscription, you're giving back to like the whole community, you know, because I'll be able to do this, you know what I mean? And listen, these are not the days. Magazine publishers used to be rolling around in, you know, Rolls Royces and big cars, and it was a big deal because you had all these magazines. It's definitely different now. So the platforms change. There's ways you can make money, but I have this thing about, I got to make money, but I don't want to sell my soul. I don't want people to be like pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. It's, you know, I've got another website, Fit Deals, and you get people, you have some bad experiences, shipping, stuff like that, whatever orders happen. I'm like, hey man, you know, I'll try to fix whatever it is that I can, because even though it was crappy this time, the next time I assure you we'll do it the best that we can. So yeah, this type of stuff that I enjoy doing, and I think if you are, you know, the pursuit, you know, no one's perfect, but you want to kind and always try and be as perfect in your own mind of what that is, because perfect is not money, it's not status, it's what happiness, right? And what you're leaving behind. What impact are you leaving behind? I've got 2 kids. So I want to make sure that my name is good, and that they are proud of what we've done.
Yeah.
So people should walk around thinking about that, because in business nowadays, there's a lot of people who just cut your throat for nothing. You know, or they purposely go to screw you, and it sucks, because it's like, you should have some integrity, you know? So I do believe in that. I'm a bit old school.
Yeah.
I'm young, still young, 46, but I still believe that's the way I was raised. You know what I mean? And I still believe, you know, when you find those people, it's just like contracts. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Who signed, how many contracts you sign?
Yeah.
People are going to screw you, they'll screw you. So, you know, your word is important. And I think in the fitness world, every issue, we have to perform. And there's limitations because money, budgets change.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're not trying to shortchange people. We do work. Yeah, there's probably more stock images, or probably work my people a little bit harder than what we've done in the past. But I mean, you know, we do make it happen. And like I said, anytime someone buys something, it goes back into what we're doing, not just into, you know, I'm not trying to buy a yacht. I'm just trying to do more with what we're doing here.
Exactly.
You know, we're Canadians.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much why Walter and I both got into the fitness side anyways, was to help give back because of what it gave to us, right? And I think I don't know if I can speak for you, but I think you're probably very similar in that sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, like
Mhm.
even this, I mean, for all of us here, right? This whole friendship, this connection. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was pretty busy at the time. You said the idea, and I'm like, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. I don't know, what's the follow through gonna be? Most of the time, and I think there's a statistic, I think it's like 7 podcasts or something like that, right? It's like
Mhm.
some number where people do not go through. And I did not make it easy for you guys. I know I did not make it easy for you. I made it difficult at times, but I always tried to at least be, hey, I'm around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if anything did go south, like just trying to get the YouTube account going. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm not kidding you guys. I should have videotaped that because that whole video would have been like, we were going to break this computer because I can't believe how tight they're. YouTube is tighter than the banks.
yeah,
You can't
any
get past
Google
that.
association is, yeah, it's impossible to break through that.
It's crazy, but I guess we
Yeah.
were safe there, right?
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, we want to give back. We want to create that community. We want people to understand what fitness is about, at least in our what we believe it to be, right? And again, with what total fitness is, it's about the mind, it's about the body, it's everything that you do in life has some aspect of fitness to it, right? It's about how healthy can you be in any aspect of your life. Even talking financially, are you financially fit? You've
It's
heard
a
that word
huge one.
before, but people tend to just think of, and that's why again we're so drawn to this magazine. I always was because it wasn't just about the biggest guy, the most cut guy, or the unattainable girl for the masses on the cover. It was realistic. Yeah, the people still are top shape, but it was the story behind that really drew you in, and it was the way that it was explained and the way that you were able to read through this and be like, wow, this person's not just a meathead going through the motions. This person actually has a story to tell, and what they're doing is pretty incredible, right? So
Hence the name
yeah,
Inside Fitness. I
yeah,
mean, really was because
Mhm.
I saw the bodybuilding world from this direction. And I thought, okay, there's a lot of this bullshit going on too, where it was like how much reps, how much set, like all the
yeah,
stuff these guys, how much weights, how much fake weights they used. So, I mean, if you're 16, like I was, and I'm like, Kevin Levroni's doing this crazy, deadlift, and it's like half of it's fake weight. I'm not saying he did, but I'm just saying, if that was the case, it's kind of crappy. And I get they were trying to sensationalize certain things, and some of it's dramatic and blah blah blah. But I kind of wanted to do more of a fly on the wall. I would go to training facilities. So
mhm,
I mean, like Jonathan Chamberg, I would go up there and just sit with a camera and watch these guys come in. And I was surprised because I was like, Jonathan, like super nice guy. And this guy had GSP, he had all these big fighters. And he had Fox News and the Fox, whatever at that time, or
yeah,
ESPN or whoever it was. But no Canadian guys were sitting there doing what I was doing, and I would just sit there for like 8 hours. And Greg Jackson would walk in, and I've got photos and videos of Greg Jackson training with Jonathan Chamber. That's pretty damn cool. No one ever got that. No fighting guy had that. Rory McDonald, when Rory McDonald was just a kid and he wasn't even in the UFC, and I said to Chamberg, I said, who's the next GSP in this gym? And he pointed, he goes, that guy, Rory. This kid was like probably 16, I don't know, 17, he was a kid. I'm like, really? He looks like this skinny little punk, and don't mess with
well,
that
yeah,
guy. You know what I mean?
exactly.
But he trained like a beast. So I watched them train, and it clicked in my brain. Okay, I watched bodybuilders for years lift heavy. Then I saw these guys just training to fight, and they didn't care what they looked like. It was about their ability, their strength to move, function, lift, move, all this stuff.
Mhm.
And that got me into it. And that's why I was like, I really love going and watching these guys do stuff. I was joking with my buddy yesterday. I was at the Blue Jays game, and I told him the story of when I was at Chamber's gym, and John walks up to me and goes, hey, there's this guy. He's a back catcher. He's plays with the Yankees, Russell Martin. And I'm like, who? I don't really watch baseball. I'm like, doesn't look like much of a, athlete to me. You're telling this guy's like, a big deal. And he ended up, going to the Blue Jays that year. He was going to the Blue Jays, and I did photos of these guys training, and just there, like fly on the wall, just taking photos. I didn't know where he was at the time. Afterwards, I was like, holy like crap, this
Yeah,
was pretty big deal. I told some buddies, like, I didn't, you know, I deal with all these athletes and you don't know sometimes, but then you look at them and I'll be honest with you, sometimes I judge them going, okay, you're a big deal. Let's see how good you really are. And then that's when they impress you. Yeah. Tyler Sagan, right? He's got this, known as I guess he was known as a bit of a playboy and a party guy at some point, but he's also a really top level NHL player.
Yeah.
So Matt got me into do a photo shoot with him. And I'm like, okay, this guy's a really good looking guy. This is going to be easy. We'll get some photos, but you know, see what he does to work out. And usually when you do these types of things, they're not really going to do a real workout because, you know, professional athletes and they have their training. This is just like an extra thing they're doing. Man, he was doing some stuff that I was just like, wow, like obviously this guy's at another level, even at that like professional hockey, but he's at the top of professional hockey. And even though, let's just say, you know, he was known as a cocky guy or whatever it was, you can back it up because physically, I'm just saying what I saw him do. So we tried to capture that as much as we can with photos, and we did some videos. And actually, I probably have a bunch of videos I could probably put on the website down the road. But this is the inside like look at to what we're doing, right? So it's not just someone working out. It's like why and what are they doing when they work out? What are the sidebars?
Exactly.
And then how does it relate to other people? So at your level, this is good, but you know, for maybe a guy who's starting off, you should try this. So we do try to incorporate that, or different ages. So always try to be creative with things.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because Walter and I were actually talking about that. What was it, Sunday or last Thursday? We were recording a podcast to put out later next week about that, which was, again, you're talking about social media all the time. And it's like, well, why am I not growing on social media as a fitness person? Well, you're posting the same thing that everybody else is doing. It's the same workout that everybody else is doing. What people want to see is that inside of like, if your niche is hockey, I personally would love to see somebody do like a style of workout that's related to hockey. Same with football, same with boxing. Like you don't see anything like that anymore.
No, there's no sports specificity. It is just, this is a bench press. This is a bench press. This is also a bench press.
You know, I grew up and it was the same. Like I grew up reading like, you know, the flexes and the muscle and development and all that. And it was the same thing, issue after issue. It was just, was it Cutler on the cover, or was it, you know, at that time it was
I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you exactly what magazines sold. Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee every year, Muscle and Fitness, and Arnold.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, I love Arnold, you know, the whole idea and blah, 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 you know, the look of it and pumping iron and Bruce Lee, but I've never, ever, ever put him on a cover in the magazine. And people go, why? Because that was an easy sell. And I'm like, yeah, but I go, if I put Arnold on the cover of a magazine every freaking year, you know, like these guys do, that's one spot away from an Aaron Legend or someone who could be getting the spot. And I'm glad over all those years, because we still sold. We actually did better with some of these no-name Canadian people than we would have done with a celebrity.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, some of the celebrities I had didn't do that great, you know, and maybe they weren't the biggest celebrities, but still, you took, you know, JVB, who was working in an office at the time and, you know, looked good, was in the fitness, you put her on a cover. That's rolling the dice, guys.
Yeah.
And I can say that's with money. You know, people talk a lot of shit, but throw money at it. I threw money at it, and I throw lots of money at these people, not because, like I said, I just had a feeling it was going to good. I did it my way. You know what I mean? I didn't do it necessarily what they maybe would have thought, and I didn't make anyone do anything they didn't want to do. I just tried to open up their mind into like, okay, well, you're looking at this way. Let's look at it this way. You know, I had a guy, Obi, crazy abs. And he came from LA, and he came to me. He's like, you know, black guys don't get covers and blah, blah. I said, you know, I get how it is in the States, and it could be like that. Canada's a little bit more diverse. However, let's not look at your color of your skin. Let's look at your abs, because your abs are ridiculous. So that's what we're going to work on. And at that time, I was actually working from home, and take off your shirt. We did some photos in the basement, and my wife came home. Was like, what are you doing? I'm like, this guy looks amazing. He flew all the way up from LA, and you know, that type of stuff. There's all these stories, and I like try to get people to open their mind, because he had this attitude of like, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, dude, I get it, but let's do this. And there's many these instances where I just try to get, like, my favorite is Greg Plitt, you know, rest in paradise. He was definitely one of the guys that when he came to work with us, he was big. Okay,
Yeah.
so you would have to like pay them, or I don't know, you'd have to find some kind of way. But he was cool enough. He came up, shot with us, and we hit it off. We became buddies, and we'd have beers together. And he was the real deal. That guy helped me out a lot. He had the most covers. No one will probably have as many covers as Greg Plitt did, and he was one of those guys that was very abrasive if he wanted to be. He spoke his mind. No, but he wasn't bullshitting, you know what I mean? And he had his followers and all this stuff, but he wasn't lying to people, you know what I mean? He would certainly play it up and do some things to ham it up, but I mean, what you saw is what you got.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about, fitness, and that is what motivated me, and he was a guy. There was a guy, he came to my house. At the time I was like pretty fat. I was feeling unhealthy and just not good. This guy was sitting on my couch. We had a beer, and I was telling him, and I never ask fitness guys like, oh, what should I do? Advice type of stuff. Never, because I've just been around it so long, and they always tell you the kind of the same thing. And then Greg just looked at me, and he was just like, what's stopping you? At the end of the day, he's like, what's stopping you from doing what you want to do? As simplest words you could ever, been said, but it just clicked with me. I ended up taking him to Good Life at a little mall gym. Freaked out a couple of guys working out, looking over, going, is that the Greg Plitt working out at Good Life in Oakville? I love that stuff. It was so much fun, and just, and I'm looking forward to doing more of this, and we're looking for the next guy, you know what I mean? If there's going to be another Greg Plitt, there's going to be another, character in fitness, guy or girl, whoever it is, whatever your story is too, like I said, I love the stories. So you could be, I talked to a guy yesterday, we're going to do YouTube videos. He's a young guy, he's Muslim. I said, you know what? I want you to do some videos with us because you're funny. I said, but I also think too, it'd be great. There's probably young Muslim guys who want to get into shape, and maybe no one ever talked about it. So let's talk about it. Let's put it out there. I said, I don't know, like, I'm not Muslim. I'm Catholic. I said, but I'm not trying to even mix it into the mix, but I'm just saying, just if they see you and they follow you on what you do, I know what you're doing. Let's just open the doors.
Yeah, exactly.
Because maybe someone's gonna pay attention, and they're gonna say, okay, this is pretty cool. So that's what I want to do. I want to do more of that. And this year I'm definitely planning. So if there's anyone like watching, all kinds of wherever you're at in your journey, if you're a trainer, coach, we're doing awards this year. And the awards are not meant to just give you like an Oscar. It's meant to bring a lot of attention to the category. We're going to recognize more than just one person, but at the end of the day, we're going to pick one person, coach of the year, trainer of the year, motivational, inspiration. So if you've got a story, I don't care if you're ripped and, 170 pounds jacked, you could be 200 pounds and overweight, but if your story, you beat cancer, or you got in a car accident, or you were beaten up. So I don't know, man, you got a story, whatever it is, mental health, someone's got a story somewhere. We want to hear it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Perfect.
That's the plans for this year's, guys. I mean, we should do more of these podcasts. You got me at 7 at night, but I definitely, and I know Walter is probably like, cause I could talk all night, and I think you probably know.
Well, no, I just before we do go, I did want to, it was funny you brought up Greg Plitt, because I actually did want to ask you about that, but I knew that would probably take up, that could probably take up like 10 more podcasts, some of the stories you have about him, right? But yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we would love to have you back on whenever you can come on, and just keep these chats going, because people love them, right? People want to know what's going on with the.
I want to turn the tables. I want to turn the tables and ask you guys questions.
Oh, there you go.
Get more into that.
We can work it that way too.
Yeah.
Can I cause controversy? Can I get you guys to like disagree and like have some kind of like we need to have some kind of podcast battle? I've been watching YouTube videos, and it's crazy what these guys do for I guess clickbait, you know what I mean? But if you're like, oh my god, like I'm gonna
we've done that before, actually, right? We did the Versus podcast. We wanted to bring it back. We weren't we were waiting for the right time, just with scheduling and all that. But yeah, I think it's about time we bring that back.
Come up with some, and then it's not easy, because very often I'm arguing on the side that's not me, but it makes it's a lot of fun.
It's good. A lot of fun. It's fun.
Think on the other side.
And I want to interview, like I said, you guys have stories too. I want to interview you guys, because we've talked before off, camera type thing. And I mean, if you're open to it, I certainly will, because I've got questions. I'm interested. I'm certainly interested in what your path, what your journey is.
Yeah.
You know, Walter,
Absolutely.
obviously you've got a story that I'm curious to, you know, like how you got to
It's
where
a
you
very
are.
thick book. But yeah, it's an open book. So yeah, you ever want to do that? Any questions you got?
Yeah, I just
No
think,
holds barred.
like I said, would provide the platform, and I just want to get more people to watch this and encourage people, and we be more who we are, right? Of course, and that's it. So like I said, I appreciate you guys making the time and doing what you guys do for
Absolutely.
Insight Fitness. I appreciate it. There's going to be a lot more, I said, coming from myself and the brand, and looking forward to just going crazy this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
That's it. You got to make up for the past 2 years from the
Okay.
pandemic.
Events. I'm gonna be out there. I'll be out BC again. We're gonna do some
There you
events.
go.
Walter, we do a workout thing. Maybe you and I we get some going with the 40 plus guys. I don't know.
Totally.
Hey, you like something, because I've never done that. I've never done a workout event for actually 40 plus. That'd be a pretty cool idea.
That would actually be amazing.
We do that in
amazing.
Toronto. One of those things,
Yeah.
a little meetup type thing. Just get people to come and just hang out and talk fitness.
Mhm.
Free.
Sure.
No, not charging people for that. That's something we do. All right.
I'm up for
Yeah.
it.
All right. There you go, guys. So
Okay. Good.
you heard it from the man himself. Stay tuned. A lot coming this year. Stay safe.
Stay breezy.
Take care, guys.